Hello fans of virtual reality and simulated race cars, welcome back to the Gamer Muscle YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to be jumping into acmodded.com's first ever mod release in the form of the Ariel Atom V8, and we'll give it a little bit of a first drive, first impressions, and see what it's actually like to push around a circuit. Now, you can donate if you really like this car, and with the donation you get access to 10 extra skins, but you can also just download it for free from acmodded.com, and with that you get access to the car, a single skin, and well, the ability to push it around a racetrack. We are at Brands Hatch to take a look at this, and we are using the Oculus Rift CV1, the TSPC Racer steering wheel, and the Proto Simtech PT1 pedals. If you look on the screen, you'll see that we've got the pedals recording there, so you'll be able to see what we're doing with our pedals, though it's worth saying in game that's about 100% braking there, so it might not look like we're pushing the brake fully, but actually we are pushing the brake fully. We've just not set up this pedal app to track it properly. Now let's get onto the track and talk about this vehicle. First of all, looks like they've done a very good job of modelling it, I have to say. They've got all the details that you'd expect. Now, the only other simulated version of this car that I've driven is the one that's in Project Cars, and that looks pretty much the same as this. Now, this is the V8 version of the car, and there's another version, but I think this is the same one that's in Project Cars. It looks very similar. Basically, you know, it's a roll cage with wheels attached to it. It's as close as you're going to get to a go-kart in full-size vehicle form. Oh dear. Okay. So, absolutely ridiculously nimble off the start line. Oh my god. Yeah, this thing's poised to rotate, as you'd probably expect from the real vehicle, actually. Really nice and tight. Oh. Oh dear. Absolutely bananas car. Now, what makes this car famous, of course, is that it's I'm having to concentrate here. It's got an acceleration of 0 to 100 miles an hour, I believe, in 5.4 seconds. Which is ludicrous, considering that, you know, you can actually take this vehicle out and do your Tesco's shop in it, or your Morrison's shop, or your Asda shop, whichever supermarket you tend to go to. I'm more of a Aldi and Lidl person myself. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So, you know, if you're going to do your shopping, you might as well do it in something that's going to cause you to soil yourself. Just make sure you pick up extra toilet paper. Oh my god. Okay, so you've got to be super delicate on the brake with this car, because it's really willing to lock up, and it's really poised for the back end to pop out. But actually, that makes it really satisfying. You actually have to treat it with a little bit of respect, and it does seem like other vehicles in Assetto Corsa, just the general nature of Assetto Corsa physics, that so long as you don't go absolutely bananas, you know, the control is there for you to actually recover the car if you do get in a bit of a slide. I love how the back's popping out, you know. That is really satisfying. This, of all the cars that I've driven in Assetto Corsa, this seems to be one of the most sensitive in terms of the back flopping out. But you can feel it in the force feedback, actually, the weight of the vehicle moving around, and there's plenty of warning there. So we go almost completely opposite lock to catch that. This is superb. I think one criticism that a lot of people have of Assetto Corsa, one of the dislikes some people have, especially people that prefer simulators like iRacing or R Factor 2, is that the cars can seem a little bit too planted in AC for whatever reason. I don't think I'd describe this as being particularly planted. We're having to be very gentle on the, very gentle on the brake pedal as we go into corners. Any steering angle, and any bit of brake and the back is coming right out. As I'd expect from the real car. I've not sat in the... Whoa, Jesus Christ, we just killed ourselves. I've not sat in the real car. I wouldn't mind owning one. But if you watch YouTube videos of it, it does appear as if it does have this handling characteristic to it. Let's restart the session. We've just died once. Well, not a bad way to die, into the wall at Brands Hatch. You know what's really nice as well is because it is, as I say, a roll cage with some tyres sellotaped onto it, you can just peer out through the roll cage and see the wheels, and you can see that the mod team here have actually textured. They've got the all the tyre, you know, like the pressure rating for the tyre and the branding on the tyre, and you can see the little I don't know what you'd call them, the sort of part of where the actual tyre wraps around onto the wheel hub. You can just see all those little texture details. It's fantastic, and you can't normally see that from inside your vehicle. Even if you were driving a Formula car, obviously the body of the car isn't literally got holes in it, but with this car it does, and you can even see the brake disc there and the actual caliper and everything. You can see it rotating. Yeah, look at that, fantastic. And oh, you can actually see the full steering rack, and look at that, you can see the sort of dampener on it. Oh no, I'm missing the start because I'm too busy looking at the model. We'll restart again. But you can see, I'll headbutt my microphone. That's fantastic. So the mod team have actually animated all this detail, because that's, you know, it has to be done by someone. It's just not automatic. Granted, when you're actually driving along the racetrack at full speed, you're not going to be looking at the steering rack with this much focus. You're going to be looking at the racing line. But that's superb. You can see all the suspension as well. The tyres on this, the wheels on this car have a really weird suspension setup where the suspension is actually horizontal. You see it undulating as you go over the bumps. Those of you playing, unfortunate enough not to have a VR headset, won't be able to appreciate this. You'll have to go to an external view. Look at that. That's really cool. So yeah, look, I mean, the car model looks fantastic. Very, as I say, very reminiscent of the car model that's in Project Cars. I think Slightly Mad Studios did a really good job with their car model as well of the Atom. See the wing mirror. Okay, and we've got some 1930s depressed lipstick wearing robot air vent behind us. Looks like if any of you guys watched Reboot in the 90s, the animated children's TV series. Looks like one of the robots from that. Let's restart the session then. Let's actually do a proper race. Here we go. I'll try and drive fast now. Getting distracted by all the details. So far, so good. I like how we have a... Oh, that's nice. I like how we have a little bit of plastic in front of us to push the wind around her face. I don't think you legally have to wear a helmet with this vehicle. I mean, it is a car. It's like you see people... Whoa, watch out, locking those up. You see people riding quad bikes in the UK without a helmet on, because I guess it's classed as a car. But personally, I think I would choose to wear a helmet. You really wouldn't want to be sat in this and having any kind of serious accident without a helmet on. Look at the darting around. The AI seems to be doing a fairly good job with this vehicle, actually. I've got them on 100%, so maybe they're a little bit slow. Obviously, I'm not driving that fast because it's our first time driving this vehicle. Oh, they're spreading out a bit. Oh, he's right next to us. I love how you can really see everything around you, though, and that's one of the nice things with Formula cars in VR, is that you actually get to take in a lot more of the track details. Might make some people more prone to motion sickness because you've got less cockpit there to sort of stabilise you. But I think this will be my new my new vehicle for doing track tours in when I'm first investigating a new location that's been added to the simulator. You really do have to be gentle with the steering. You can actually throw the car into the corner with either the weight of the vehicle, which will cause the back end to pop out, and it gets really squirrely, and then on the brakes you will have to sort of, you see, we had to do a quick snap catch of the rear end of the car there. But if you brake in a perfect straight line, you don't tend to break traction and it stays quite stable. It really does feel as if it's riding on a very tight margin of grip. And these steering inputs that I'm having to put into this vehicle, again, really seem to line up with that snappy type of steering that you see when you watch onboards of this car in reality. Now, I think, let's start with the criticism. We've been far too positive again. We start our videos off positivity. Only negative that I can really pull out now seems to be that the car sound, I don't think, is that riveting. Now, of course, this car uses a Honda motorbike engine, so you would expect it to have a different tone to a road car, but it just feels a bit artificial here in the game. It doesn't seem to have that much depth to it. I think if this had a better engine note to it, it would definitely add a lot more to the immersion. But the actual handling and the characteristics of the vehicle, to me, seem absolutely spot on. Oh, look at that, absolutely gorgeous. Oh no, it killed him. Oh, this car's struggling for grip. Oh dear. You can actually drive this vehicle at the you can do Palmer Sports Day and you can get a go in this vehicle. I think we'll have to do that sometime. Save up the £600 or so required. Don't donate to us on our Patreon page if you want to put me in a race car. I mean, that's the biggest problem with motorsport, is it's just so expensive. I mean, I would struggle to justify spending that amount of money on something that is literally going to be 30 minutes in a car. It's just so much money for those of us that are peasants. Oh, but if you're fortunate enough to either inherited a lot of money and you also happen to be a very irresponsible person, this would be a fantastic car to have in real life. Oh. Yeah, it's got that balance between being very tight, very tricky, but also incredibly responsive. Once it does get into a slide there, you see, once you do lose traction from all four tyres, it does keep going in that slide for quite a while. It takes quite a bit of time for the grip to actually return to you. But you know, you're not gonna just slide off the track wildly out of control. Let's try and see how much we can actually push it. I'm going to let's get this car a bit more sideways. Let's restart the race. There's this bug in AC when you restart the race. Sometimes it puts you into an external view. All you have to do is push Control 1, Control 2, I think. Yeah, Control 2, and then F1 key to cycle back to the cockpit, and that'll put you back in the vehicle. We seem to have lost the steering wheel there. There we go, F1 again. Recenter the view. So let's try and actually throw this vehicle around a bit. Oh my god, if you had an OSW or an AccuForce wheel, this car is going to be even better. I mean, the TSPC race is quite good. It does keep up in that situation there. With the back end popping out, the wheel was keeping up with the car, but if you ever have a chance to use an OSW or AccuForce wheel, with those types of moments with these cars that do sort of swirl around a bit, it's so punching satisfying. It would only make this car a lot more engaging and exciting. But it's actually pretty damn exciting with the TSPC racer. So let's try and throw this in. We'll finish this up. We've got warm tyres. Warm the tyres up a touch, and we'll try and chuck it around some corners and see what we can get away with. But this feels feels awesome. I love how when you're going over the bumps as well, you can feel them very clearly, and you can feel the car riding over those bumps really clearly. Let's see what we can get away with. Oh dear, it doesn't seem to be that happy in this slide. Oh. But, you know, I don't think this car's got a particularly wide wheelbase. You would expect its slides to be very tight. Oh, and very snappy. Oh dear, no, no, no. I was going to get hit by someone then. Let's try and get it locked into a prolonged drift rather than just a power slide. So if you... Oh, so that's a corner that's really hard to catch a slide on, because as you come down the slope and then you're coming back up, the tyres all of a sudden grip back in as the weight of the car pushes down. We almost caught that. Yeah, when you get on the power, so when you actually light up the rears, it actually, with this default setup, seems to be pushing the car into a state of understeer. It's on the brakes that the back end's coming out, and then when you catch it on the brakes and get on the power, the car then gets inside. I think we actually have to get the angle there, turn it in, get the mass of the car in the angle from the steering wheel, from the steering input, and then once we've got the angle, then put on the gas. Otherwise, we're just inducing understeer. Oh, not quite. Oh no! I tried to just dip it in on the brakes there. Oh no, the grid's coming along to eat us up here. This is a really tricky car to do smooth drifts with. This is really good fun. I'm sorry I'm driving it terribly. I know those of you that can drift are watching this thinking, what is he doing? But trust me, this is not the easiest of car to actually keep in a powered drift. Oh dear. We tapped the grass on the left hand side there. Let the AI go power, they're getting stuck. One of the things that Assetto Corsa does have still, I think, as an issue with the AI, when you drive slow, and once you've passed them, they tend to give up fighting you, and they can get stuck behind you. Other than that, though, actually, if you're racing properly with the AI, and you know you're not being ridiculous, I think they serve the function in Assetto Corsa. But yeah, they're not the most riveting of AI. I think Automobilista and Racing Experience tend to do the AI a bit better if you want something that actually puts up a good fight, and that you could. I mean, personally, I just don't race Assetto Corsa with the AI. I just use multiplayer. Assetto Corsa's online multiplayer and VR for me. That's what it does. Let's restart again. I want to do one slide here. We've gone to this external view again. F1 ourselves back, but yes, this is a fantastic vehicle. The only downside is the sound. Maybe the mod team could improve the audio a little bit, give a little bit more depth to the audio. But the handling and the model of the car, absolutely superb. This video could just go on for the next 2.5 hours of me trying to do ridiculous drifts and then try to drive fast. That's what tends to happen when you find a good vehicle that has a really good dynamic handling characteristic to it. You'll go between wanting to actually go fast, you know, doing fast racing, actually trying to race, and then just playing with the vehicle. The brakes are super sensitive in this car. I'm going to be quiet now for a minute so you guys can actually get an idea of what the game sound is actually like. Whilst I try and actually do a nice drift. Oh dear, into the sand we go. Bit of rock garden action, you know. Look at those lines. But there you go. I really like this car. Really like this car. Just the sound could do with being a little bit better, but the actual dynamics and the handling of it, absolutely superb. I can't wait to, let me give you a view of the sky. I can't wait to take this car out to more circuits. And you really can feel all the track details, undulations. It's a very tightly sprung car as well, and very nimble. So it really gives you a good idea of what's going on with some of the circuits just through the force feedback, which personally I really love. So thanks. I'm going to put my headset on the floor so you guys don't get motion sick. We've gone through the floor of the world. Those of you might not know this, but if you actually stick your head through the floor in reality, it's purple underneath. Scientists have yet to discover that. But thanks to acmodded.com for releasing the Ariel Atom mod. As I say, I'll put a link to the car in the video description. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to click the subscribe button. Don't forget to click the like button, and feel free to ask any questions in the comments. Until our next video and tomorrow's video, thanks for watching everybody, and goodbye.